Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Foreclosure Help 777, where we talk about everything foreclosure related. This is my private group, my Facebook page. If you're going through a foreclosure and you need help, you can join and we'll try to help. Today we're going to talk about some things that you need to be aware of if you're in foreclosure or about to go through foreclosure, or you think that you can get a free house possibly. I've heard from a lot of y'all telling me you've been scammed by securitization audits. Let's take a look at some of these scams. There's a Facebook page called Fraudsters Radio. That's a pretty interesting website that tells you the latest scams that are going on out there and how to avoid them. And one of them is Fraud Stoppers, which is some people have told me about Fraud Stoppers. They do securitization audits, and they really don't help them stay in their house. They just take your money and do nothing. Let's take a look at some other ones. Matthew Widener, he's a legal expert, was talking about this Widener Law, his website, MatthewWidenerLaw.com, guys, or MattWidenerLaw.com, as you can see right here. It's worth looking into. He's talking about how mortgage securitization audits are a crime. What they do is they make it so that they can steal your house faster. So you don't necessarily need an audit. A securitization audit is not going to save your house. And he's explaining it here, how it works. And then these are some red flags you want to be looking out for. We are experts in loan audits. The bank's committed fraud. We have access to the Bloomberg terminal. We have trained bank examiners on our staff. We have federal attorneys on our staff. We will get you a free house. Now, these are some catchphrases that these fraudsters are using to prey on people. So you don't want to fall for that trap, guys. It's a trap. Another one that got in trouble for this was certified forensic loan auditors. Okay, they were sued by the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau. They went after them. This guy named Andrew P. Lehman and Michael Kerrigan were the defendants in this case. They had a forensic loan service company that they took money from people and didn't help them save their house. So they got a cease and desist order that they had to stop what they were doing. The securitization audit and quiet title package is what they were selling, guys. And if somebody's selling a package, right away, red flags, guys. Everybody's situation is different. A package is not going to work for everyone. Everybody's situation is different. So this might be an interesting case for you guys to read up on. The case number is right here, 2:19-CV-07722. And I think this was out of California. Yeah, Central District of California, if you want to look into it to see what happened. But again, they scammed a lot of people. People lost their homes and paid money to get something that didn't even help. Another case to look at is Tasaka versus Bayview Loan Servicing, LLC. You can read the case text if you just Google it. There's the case number, 17CV07235. In this case, the homeowner used a securitization audit by Joe Escobar, and you can type in his name and to find it. But basically, you can see here that he was a licensed investigator in the state of Texas. He conducted a chain of title analysis and mortgage fraud investigation. And it basically didn't do any good because the judge said, well, that doesn't prove anything. And just the meat of this is basically the facts set forth herein are gleaned in part from documents attached as exhibits to the amended complaint. Aside from the executable affidavit, plaintiff attaches to her amended complaint 17 separate documents totaling 533 pages. Plaintiff references the exhibits only once in her amended complaint, stating, defendants must be held accountable for their fraudulent actions. See attached exhibits. She does not explain how the exhibits are relevant to her allegations of fraud. Exhibits A and B are the note and mortgage for the real property. Exhibits C through E and F appear to be records of assignment of mortgage. The exhibit filed as EF is the summons and complaint in the foreclosure action. And basically, it's all hearsay. Even so, this guy that did the audit did not, even his affidavit didn't help. If you know what I'm saying. So they just write an affidavit, and then the homeowner's stuck trying to figure out how to use that affidavit. And again, it's just considered hearsay. It's not going to help. Another thing to be aware of is the sovereign citizen movement that tells you how you can get your house free and clear by filing a false lien or tax fraud or other things. And this guy got 9 years in prison. So, I mean, it can get out of hand. Some of these scammers they take this information and think they can do whatever the heck they want. And in this case, this guy filed a tax form the IRS uses, the form 1099 OID, to fraudulently report to the IRS debts, including mortgages, student loans, credit card debts, whatever. But he got this information from someone else that told him how to do it. It's saying the proper use of a 1099 OID form is for companies such as brokers to report to the IRS income received by purchasers of discounted security. Sellers personally created and submitted IRS 1099 OID forms that were fraudulent on their face. After submitting the fraudulent forms, sellers' co-conspirators prepared and submitted fraudulent returns seeking massive refunds, in one case exceeding $500,000 in a single return. All these refunds were based on non-existent 1099 OIDs, income and withholding. Again, some of this fraud can get a little crazy. Another thing that is going around the fraudsters is the birth certificate bonds that they say that you are born with and can collect on. If you go to treasurydirect.org, you can find out that these bonds really do not exist. And it gets into the where this story even came from. And basically they're saying here, the common tale offered in this scam states, when the United States went off the gold standard in 1933, the federal government somehow went bankrupt. With the help of the Federal Reserve Bank, the government became a corporation, sometimes called government franchise, and converted the bodies of its citizens into capital value, supposedly by trading the birth certificates of U.S. citizens on the open market and making each citizen a corporate asset, sometimes referred to as a straw man, whose value is controlled by the government. Scams vary in methods for citizens to gain control of their alleged assets, such as filing a UCC-1 financial statement, activating a Treasury Direct account, or creating bonds by using the savings bond calculator. And then it's saying that these blogs and videos promises that your birth certificate bond will be able to wipe out your debt or help you collect monies or securities. Some internet sites even offer to sell videos, webinars, and coaching on how to do this. No one has profited from the security department by using these tactics. But the scammers intend to profit from this story by selling their bogus wares. There is no monetary value to a birth certificate or social security number, EIN, and Treasury Direct accounts must be funded by the owner from the owner's personal bank accounts to have any value. So again, this is another scam that people seem to fall for. If it sounds too good to be true, guys, it probably is. So let's talk about what does work. Well, what does work for a lot of people is fighting your case out in court the legal way. Here's a good example. Sabrina Kohler, has 2 cases. One she filed in 2023 and the other one she filed in 2024. She's still in her house. She's in a non-judicial state in Missouri. And you can see her first case. Let's take a look at that real quick. Okay, her first case she opened up 10/23/23. And you can see it. She filed her complaint. She got her summons. The other side filed their notice of entry of appearance. They filed a motion to dismiss right here. And then Sabrina filed a response in opposition to their motion. And you can see all these other things that are happening. Basically, the judge entered a memorandum in order. The complaint was amended. It went around again. Memorandum of law, motion for leave, motion to dismiss, memorandum in opposition to motion, and then document number 52 on July 8, 2024, order of dismissal. Now, some of her cause of action were dismissed and some were not. So the ones that were not dismissed, she refiled another complaint. So let's go back to that page and look at her other complaint, which is right here. Come on. And you can see her status of her current case right here. July 25th, 2024, she filed her new complaint. And it kind of goes over again, all over again. She filed her complaint, and then of course they filed their motion to dismiss. She filed her opposition to motion to dismiss and memorandum of law, and here we are. Document number 24, filed on 12/26, which is a disclosure statement that she filed. But that's, where she's at right now. And so she's just waiting for the judge to rule at this point. But again, it's going to take a couple of years. And when all is said and done, she stayed in her house for a couple of years, which saved her money, if you think about it. Most people, guys, do not win these things. You know that. Most people will keep it in court for as long as possible and try to reach a settlement out of court. That would be the best way to handle all this. Or in your favor, of course. If you're in a non-judicial state, and you want to be proactive, file a complaint and a lis pendens, which will stop a foreclosure from continuing. Or if you're in a judicial state, you file an answer and counterclaims to their foreclosure complaint and try to keep it going for as long as possible in the courts. That's the way to handle this, guys, not to be sidetracked by these scams. I hope this has been informational to a lot of y'all. If you have any questions, you can send me an email. My email address is foreclosurehelp777, just like it's spelled right here, @gmail.com. If you have any questions or if you need help with something, and I can certainly reach out to you and try to help you. And as always, everyone have a blessed New Year's.